Progress.
So,
I consent to being recorded.
yes.
You
That
are
is
now
good. Yeah, I
informed.
don't know why it, like, that must have been new to Zoom. Maybe they were doing it because people were recording. But anyway, so, yeah, trying to think if there was anything I didn't cover about, us doing it this way now as opposed to recording. Yeah, I figured we play for like 45 minutes, somewhere around there. We take a break, play another 45. Uh, Really, if we go 2 hours, we're probably going a little bit long for a stream show, but you know, that way everybody can still get on with their day. Uh,
Yep.
for those of you who are writing elaborate backstories but never sent them to me, go ahead and send them to me, so that way I can use them to create more mayhem, because you know what's coming.
Woo.
Uh, you know, we can get a lot more detailed in the way we play our games. I'm still not going to become a murderer. Like you're not going to like I'm not going to be out to kill you. And I really like some of the things I was coming up with, like a way to use your hit die rather than short rest, using them in the middle of battle. Because I thought that was a neat little thing I was coming up with, and I want to elaborate on that. So there'll be the usual ideas I have at random. We'll test out, and yeah, as soon as everybody is ready, we can go. Because I think that was everything I could think of.
Right. Just because I have to ask this, is it going to be like roasted mayhem or honey roasted mayhem?
I've never been big
Ah,
on
ha,
honey
ha, ha.
roasted.
Ha, ha,
We're
ha,
more
ha.
the Miracle Whip ham. Mayo ham. It didn't work. Forget that
That
ever
is
happened. We're editing that out.
that
This
is a
can still be
tangy.
used for like when there's a technical problem and you can't you can't hear somebody because they completely robot out. That's still a good way of saying shut up for a minute. We need to you know because when somebody completely lags, they don't know to stop, or um, whatever reasons you can't get somebody's attention. That's better than just talking over each other.
Mhm.
So
Also, just a quick heads up, we are running a yard sale upstairs right now, / estate sale.
mhm.
So, if for any reason my dog starts barking, I'll try to mute myself as fast as possible.
Okay.
But she's just very sensitive to people coming in.
Yeah, I get that.
I forget. Is yours the German Shepherd or a Corgi?
I'm the German Shepherd, Danielle's the Corgi.
Okay.
Danielle, we look so alike right now.
Do we? Hang on. I'm leveling up. Yeah, we do. I wonder if we're sisters.
Whoa!
Whoa. Wow.
All right.
We're off.
While you're
We're off normal standard broadcasting now. I will give no fucks.
I thought you were enjoying the difficulty of actually monitoring yourself a little bit.
I actually am still, and until it becomes
Slightly
until it
inconvenient.
becomes yeah. When my inconvenience is at max, I will just be like, no, I'm going to. You all are just fucked. But let me
Yeah,
see
but
here.
I'll admit, it seemed like a good idea, and if I could have done it sort of like the Titans Grave show, like have everything kind of much more planned out, tech side having a module and being able to like record all the sessions, then it could have been more of what we were going for. But this, the way when you play with Jesse, you just prepare for you know Kool-Aid
Everything.
Man through a wall while chasing after figments of his own imagination. You can't do nice, normal sessions. And then you bring in all of his friends.
Well, here's the thing. It's D&D. Is there ever a normal session?
No.
Exactly.
That's why I like to tell the joke. We're going to play a nice by the books episode here because that is a lie I can't even get straight. Okay.
Or don't mention what kind of book you're talking about.
Yeah. It is a book where, like, before I even got to play D&D, I found like one of the older edition books at Goodwill, and I was like, hey, this would just be neat to have, for inspiration for writing. Half the pages were torn out, and I didn't realize that. That's a buy the book D&D game. It's the wrong edition, and you're missing half of it.
They had a first edition D&D player's handbook at the Ren Fair. Like, from 1E, and I was like, I didn't get it, but I was like,
Yeah. Okay, I was just putting the thing up, the links up on Twitch and everywhere. Well, not everywhere. I just went with Twitter.
I have 2 copies of the first edition D&D books, mainly because in the first copy that I got, by the time you got the spells, the pages go upside down, and the person that sold to me had no clue, and I clarified, it's like, I'm not mad, this is funny to me, but I thought you'd let you know in case you didn't know, and they were like, no, I had no clue. It's like, cool, keeping it.
Yeah. Okay,
oh.
Okay.
and we are back to live. Hello, people. So, who are we? Well, we're Trick Roll. And I'm going to let all these people introduce themselves right after I handle some of the quick stuff. So, this is Season 2. We're live now. Still, please go to geekyside.com, tv.com if you want to see Season 1. But we'll try and do a little bit of a recap here. Because, how complicated can a D&D campaign be, after all? But, before that, we have some ways that you can help us out other than, there's the watching, the liking, the commenting, the sharing. All that helps, big help, much help. But there are other things. We have affiliates. We actually are an affiliate of Ma Energy. There's a link below. It's in this container, but you can't see because it's a PAX container. Ma Energy is, you get a container of powder. You mix it however you want. They have multiple flavors. It's actually really good. I've been drinking it. And, that's not why I'm talking a million miles an hour. No, I'm just excited to be live again. I need the energy to keep up with these guys. I am going to do insane commercials for it shortly. But things are being shipped to me to do those. But drop down the links, them, Humble Bundle, or you can buy anyone on this screen a Trick Roll through ko-fi.com, coffee.com. There's a link below. What's a Trick Roll, you ask? That is where you can multiply one die roll by a 1d4. We tried it out in session 8. It was exactly as detrimental to any story as I expected. And guess what? You all get one Trick Roll because of things that, when you can buy them directly, in which case you can say, to send whatever message you want to the player. Like, hey, Andy, crush them. Here's 10 of them. I would like that. I would like that a lot. But also, when we get enough clicks through our affiliates, I will be handing them out. So that's how you all get one Trick Roll. So keep that in mind. You can use it whenever, however, for one die roll. And now, let us do the proper introductions. And we will start with Danielle. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you playing? What are you doing here? Why are you on my screen?
Well, I am Danielle, and I have been playing D&D for just over a year and like 4 months, I think. I play Anya, and she is an Aasimar sorceress, and she's pretty cool. I've missed playing her. I'm glad to have her back. And I think that, I don't know, fun facts. I'm a nerd, well, obviously. That's why I'm here. I think that gives plenty of reason for my being here. So, yeah.
And Kyle.
Everybody, I am Kyle. I'm also a Twitch streamer going under the handle FlintEwood756. You can find me on YouTube under the same handle as well. I do a podcast on Wednesday nights with one of my fellow D&D and R peers, Nick, where we're slowly going through almost every single RP system that has ever been made in order to go through and sort of create a database for people who are just getting into role-playing games so that they can find one that they think that they'll like and enjoy and be able to start off that way. I also run a Vampire the Requiem game on every other Sunday, and you can catch that on my Twitch once again.
And who are you playing?
I am playing Joseph, the ever-loving rogue of bald sneakiness who likes to grease up all the door hinges throughout the entirety of the town.
I'm glad you specified door hinges, because that was about to get really weird. We're not on network TV anymore. We can do what we want, as long as we obey Twitch guidelines, which I admit they're always in flux. We're probably not going to. No. So until we get kicked off here, Triana, who are you?
Hello, I am Triana.
Wow.
I am shocking. I am playing the character Styx, who is an Asimar bard. She's really fun, and this is really fun, so I'm really glad that I get to do it. But yeah, just she's a fun little bundle of happiness and of course a dark traumatic past that every D&D character must have, but not really. She just went to a shifty college for a couple of years, but isn't that everyone's backstory?
I like that your backstory is, yeah, I went to kind of a crappy college for a couple of years.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually so much better. And now, for the one who's going to take the most explanation, not because he's got to take backstory, but because he has been the center of so much shenanigans. Just go ahead and tell us who you are. You don't need an introduction.
Hello, everyone. I am Jesse Crump, also more publicly known as Crump64. I'm just a content creator. You'll find me on YouTube and Twitch under the name Crump64 and other such nonsense on Instagram, Twitter. You'll always find me there. I've been a D&D player since 2015 of December, and in this season, I will continue playing Jylith of the Tor, but more importantly, King Jylith Ator, who's a Ravenite Dragonborn of the blue variety, and he is a champion fighter. And essentially, after he inherited the castle, as many of you have seen in season 1, he is slowly discovering gifts from the Shadowfell from this castle. And who knows what other gifts he will receive during season 2.
Now, for those of you who haven't seen episode 8, Jylith now only has one crown. He had 2 crowns, but now he has 1 crown. And
Spoilers.
somewhere out, it's not a spoiler, they should have watched that episode already. I posted it only a couple hours ago.
They've had plenty of time.
Yeah. Because somewhere out there, there's a traumatized tiefling who turned herself blue being chased by loyal lizard men that once answered. Well, they didn't answer to Jylith. They were trying to find Jylith to answer to him. Basically, very early on, against my better judgment, they somehow inherited a haunted castle. Jylith being the one who wore the crown, the castle seems to be very connected to him, which is also a nexus to Shadowfell and is some of the creepiness. So, normally every session I ask Jylith to roll a wisdom save, but I'm not doing that right now. That's because we are actually going to be starting in a slightly different location that's in the same location. That's because you probably noticed that you hadn't seen Styx or Anya around for a little while, but you know they were in the library, and I don't know if Jylith actually can read. I know he's smart enough to read, I just don't know if he bothers.
No, he doesn't. He
Okay.
chooses to. Libraries are a natural enemy to Gilith.
Yes. So of course he wouldn't go there to look for Anya, except that maybe Joseph was kind of trying to point out to him that there's seawater smells in the air. That's not normal. But we're going to go straight over to Anya. What book were you reading in the library?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. Let me review exactly which book I was reading, and I can tell you exactly that. This is great. Here we go. DM, do you remember which book I was reading?
You were reading The Tale of Marley the Pirate.
That's
the
right.
Tales of the Wind, I believe.
Yes.
course.
And yes, this was a book about a Tabaxi pirate, and in it he was opposing
That's right.
the Church of the Goddess. Now you were at the part where the church had spoken with the king and was bringing the princess Lucinda into their protective custody after she awoke to her magical powers and was, of course, connected to some great prophecy. Like all prophecies, it was doom or something or another. Anyway,
Yeah.
so naturally, the church, who has been growing in power, said, "We're just going to bring her into our protective custody," and because this is the way royalty works, of course they send along, a handmaiden who just happens to have a rapier by her side, and that was Celeste. That's the part of the book you were at. And Anya also has, psychic abilities, and you're always talking to Styx through them, which maybe that's why one minute you blinked and the next minute you're on the boat. And at this point, you've been on this boat for a couple of months, but it actually feels like it's only been a couple of pages. I mean, a couple of hours, a couple of days, something like that. But you're on the boat.
Time difference.
Yeah.
This-
Because you are being talked to by, let me find the name. I have notes here somewhere.
Right as they boarded the boat, and Marley is getting ready to face the Holy Knight, Sir Reginald, I believe.
Well, that's the parts I was going to sort of go over, because you're in the boat and Styx is there with her rapier, and it's been like I said, it's been a little while. This has been the boring part that would sort of be skipped over in narration in a book, because you were there with Cardinal Trenton and Sir Reginald. Sir Reginald is wearing like full plate armor, has a ridiculously oversized sword. Even by the standards of what Gilith carries around, this is a ridiculously oversized sword. And the Cardinal Trenton is talking to you, Princess Anya. I am sure that you will find that a life dedicated to the church will be much more fulfilling than the pampered life of a noble. He's probably been harping on this, on and off for a little while, expelling the virtues of becoming a loyal member of the church.
Well, while I'm flattered that the church would consider me, I would like to explore my new powers before I decide what to do with them.
Sir Reginald sort of stiffens, like he's about to go for his sword, but the Cardinal kind of raises a hand to him almost reflexively, like, and we will ensure that those powers are kept in check and do not grow into anything devastating. After all, that is the whole purpose of the prophecy. But,
So you would dictate how I use my powers.
and we would teach you responsibility, something that I'm sure your family has been overlooking. But enough for now, because that's when there's a bell going off.
Bong, bong, bong.
Gilith, Joseph, you were finally looking around trying to find your friends when you go into the library where there's a sound of waves crashing. And I know I've got this around here. Yes. and sounds of battle taking place. And as you go over to the book where all this is happening, the next thing you know, you're in the middle of a battle. On a boat.
The first thing that Joseph is going to do is she's just going to start rowing it towards.
No,
towards
you're
wherever.
on a big boat. You're not an oarsman.
Pulls out ridiculously oversized oars and starts rowing. Panic! Panic!
So, you see, there's actually two boats. You're on one where it looks like, well, you can tell the difference between the pirates and the militant church, because the militant church is wearing like white tabards and with like blue on them, and the pirates are dressed like pirates. Anya, the cardinal tells Sir Reginald Rides that he is to be guarding over you, and so the armored man goes out the door, and Giles, you see this. I think you would notice first because you're probably the guy who looks for the guy with the biggest sword. So when an
Of
armored
course.
man in a giant sword strapped to his back steps out, he immediately looks at you and growls, "Beastman."
No, I'm Giles. Nice to meet you.
And I would say this is the exact moment where I would tell you all to roll initiative, but before he can draw his sword to come charging at you, somebody jumps from behind him, slams a burlap sack over his helmeted head, cinches it right quick, and then kind of drops down below, like right behind the guy.
I don't
I
know
just
how to
look at-
feel right now.
I say we just kick him onto his back and treat him like a turtle until we sort out everything around here. What do you say?
I mean,
I'm just-
are you guys gonna?
Yeah, I'm at that point. I just
Okay.
charge forward to shoulder right into this giant armored guy,
Okay.
thinking that guy who just dropped the bag on him is waiting for one of us to shove him over.
Okay, roll in athletics at advantage.
Oh wow,
Giles is just going through this my first day syndrome right now.
13.
13.
Oh wait. I didn't roll at an advantage. That was the first
Oh,
one.
Okay.
Second one is 20. Woo!
20, much better.
Much better.
Yes. So I pictured this much like you hit Princess Evalia. You slam into him, knock him back over this figure, and you hit him hard enough that he does drop his massively oversized sword. This Tabaxi fellow stands up, looks at you like, "You're not one of mine, but you're not one of his either, so okay, come on, we got a princess to kidnap." And he turns and pops open the door.
I just kick the knight for one more good measure, going, "How dare you speak to the king like as if he is but a common cat," and then start running after the tabaxi.
Good, because he hasn't gotten the bag off yet, but he's still flailing around, so he missed you. Yeah, Anya, the door just got opened up, and a Catman pirate walks in, followed by your friend Joseph. "Ah, princess, I will be kidnapping you today. Right this way, if you don't mind. We do kind of need to hurry."
Styx just sort of goes, hold on. And she raises up her hands and stands in front of Anya. She's like, oh, hold on. Why is she getting kidnapped?
Well, do you want to have this conversation on the church's boat or on my boat? Just curious, because we're getting shot at right now.
Great. Awesome. Wow, I had no idea. But I think we should have a discussion as to why she's getting kidnapped.
Hey guys, we're getting shot at out here!
Great! Put up a shield! We're getting kidnapped in here!
Well,
Okay, telepathically, Anya is gonna tell Styx
That was a big
that
one!
she doesn't feel like staying on the church's boat. So if we could depart and then have the conversation.
That's fine.
Another big one!
Okay, fine. Take us to your boat and let's get out of here then.
But make it look like a kidnapping.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, and that reminds me, he fished around, and he hands Anya sort of like a gold circlet with like an elaborate looking lock on it. It's like, we'll need to put you in chains.
I'll point at Sticks and go, and I've got rope for this one.
We really do need to hurry because he's going to get that bag off any second now. So he just hands you the gold circlet, and he's like, okay, everybody, this way.
Way to
At
go.
which point he kind of bumps into Giles. How many people were on this boat? You know what? Never mind. We'll figure it out later.
Your average ship
Keep
size is
going,
about 50 people, give or take. You know who's sleeping below decks.
Speaking of which, the big armored guy just got the bag off and is looking for his sword and calling for help. So now would either be a time to roll initiative or run.
I vote we run.
I like run.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in that case, everybody who's running make either acrobatics or athletics checks because these guys are going to try to stop you.
I'm going to Errol Flynn this so hard. 18!
Okay.
11.
18.
Okay. Gilith, are you doing anything or are you just standing there?
This is one of those moments where, as a player, I'm like, I should run, and then the Gyrus speaks to me. He's like,
I do not run.
Well, there is a guy with a big sword.
way ahead of you. 17 on the initiative.
Okay. So, Anya, your two friends are easily, like, swerving through the crowd. Unfortunately, the big guy, before he picks up his sword, he grabs you by the arm and says, "You little witch, you're not going anywhere." And that's when Giles shows up with... And this guy, because he's holding you, he got a really crappy initiative. Giles, you get to start this fight.
All right. Gyrus brings out Trident and Table Shield.
I forgot about Table Shield.
I'm so glad the table shield
I
got
was like, what is
remembered.
Table Shield? I was like, oh.
It only has been since episode 1 since its
I
last
know.
appearance.
Oh my god.
Because everything else, a swinging weapon was more accurate. This time's like, Pokey can actually do things. Because if I go overboard, I can still stab. Anyway, so
Yes.
so I'm coming at him with Trident in hand and
Okay.
charging. So please, Dice Gods, be in my favor. That's a natural 20!
Okay, yeah, that is good. You obviously hit the guy. I imagine that you, especially with the nat 20, you're probably making a lot of noise while doing this. You're in full armor. He's in full armor. Styx, Joseph, Marley, the pirate, have all realized Anya is not with you. You turn around. What do they see Giles doing?
So you see Gyrus almost Spartan style, but with a table and spear, and just come and charging. And as soon as he gets close, Kia!
Okay. Yeah, your trident punches right through the crevices of his armor, but at the same time, you realize that you know what it feels like when your pointy sticks go through someone. This felt like it hit a second layer of armor or something. It did minimum damage to him. And if anything, he's looking at you very annoyed right now. And what is your AC?
Right. Let me double check because I make sure I have my table shield equipped to account for this. So right now with table shield it's 20.
Okay, then he does not manage to hit you as he is, held off by Table Shield and Trident. Now,
No one prepared
the rest
him
of
for this
you
kind of
can
fight.
now officially enter combat if you want to. Because there are going to be other people soon.
Yeah.
Everybody, roll
Wow.
initiative.
I got a 6.
Okay, well, you're still right above Reginald.
I got a 4.
Okay, you're right below Reginald.
Gotta
I
love it.
got a 17.
Okay. Anya will be right after, and let me give Marley a roll because he is the hero of the story after all. He's right in the middle where the hero belongs, of course. Gileth, you can re-attack this guy who, for the record, like, he's got one hand on Anya still, and now has to try to pull your trident out of him. So he's really trying, his unarmed attacks aren't doing well, but it also means he doesn't have his stupidly big sword either. So that means that you can make another attack against him relatively easily.
Yeah, so he'll just draw back the trident, and now he's going to go for the left leg.
Okay, go for the left leg.
And with a swing, that'll be a 17 to hit.
17, that bounces off his armor.
Bang!
Anya.
He's-
Oh, sorry.
He has good leggings.
Anya. your turn.
Anya, with her free arm that he's not holding, pulls a dagger out and tries to stab at him.
Okay, try to stab at him.
Yep. That's a 19 to hit.
19, that just hits.
Okay.
You stab at him, like, you most like Jolly did earlier, you find a slot in, you stab him, and it's still, a lot more, there's additional resistance underneath that skin. Or underneath that armor. So, that's why I'm not asking you to roll damage, because
Oh, gotcha.
when you pull it out, you're like, there's only a single drop of blood. Okay, so Marley is going to jump in. Like, why doesn't anyone listen to me? And he tries to slam into the big armored guy with his own rapier. And he does minimum damage. Joseph.
Joseph actually comes running up to the large armored man, and it looks like as if he has nothing in his hands at all until he strikes out at him, and there's a blue-purple rapier of psionic energy that comes out.
All right, make that attack.
17.
17. That does not manage to hit him. He's able to dodge just barely.
All right, and then we'll come in with the bonus attack then.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a dagger in there's a very similar looking dagger in his left hand as he strikes out and misses once again with a 10.
Yep, that missed. And now it is his turn. And apparently when you're trying to hold one person hostage and fend off a giant dragon man, you don't have a whole lot of ability to hit, because he is doing a terrible job of trying to hold one man off, hold a hostage, and he still doesn't have his sword. Sticks. There's a whole lot of chaos around.
Okay, for the giant man who doesn't have a sword, I'm gonna try and cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on him.
Okay, what does he need to save with?
He needs to save with wisdom, and he needs to get above a 13.
Okay, let me pull up that stat sheet, which I just now remembered I needed. Okay, and he got an 18 on the die. So that does not go through on him, unfortunately.
Darn it. Well,
Darn it.
unfortunately for me,
Yeah, for him it was great, but now he just looks at you and he just says, I knew we should have wiped out the whole filthy lot of you.
what, can't you take a joke?
You gotta use the
Apparently
joke first. We'll probably remember that next time. Gileth.
is one of the moments where Jyla's like,
Have I finally met a worthy opponent?
so, still trident in hand. He's gonna try going for the ribs.
Okay, go for the ribs.
With that swingity swing, it's only a 16.
16 does not hit.
Cut the time.
It's then where Jylith will just immediately pull out the trident, and he's gonna use action surge because he's not gonna let that down.
Okay.
I said stab the ribs.
That's 17, so slightly better.
But still not enough to get through his armor. Anya.
Okay, Anya's still got the dagger in her hand. She's gonna stab at him again. Same
Okay.
spot.
Stab at him again.
That is a natural 20 for a total of 23.
Okay, that gets through, and you get another drop of blood. But now he's getting really, really mad. Fortunately, Marley gets to attack now, and you know, I'm not a bright man. I remembered that I made a whole stat sheet for Marley. I just need to pull him up, because that way I
Hi,
can
welcome to D&D, where the points are made up.
Yes. Seriously, I was going to use
Rolls
that.
don't matter, and nobody can get.
I was seriously going to use that, but okay.
Well, that's why you have me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Danielle, my improv hearts claps for you on that one.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So he gets another drop of blood out of the man. And Joseph, it is your turn.
Yeah, I'm going to attack him with the psychic blades again.
Okay, try with the psychic blades again.
The first one is a 14,
14 does not get through.
and the second one is a 16.
A 16 does not get through. You're like, just. I know the blades go into the person, but they're not managing to go through.
I just need a bit of quicker wit.
But now Reginald is getting tired of this, and he is going to attempt to just throw Anya. And with his strength, Anya, I want you to make a dex save for me.
Cool, I'm really good at those, you guys.
Cool, this will be no problem then.
I know, it'll be perfect. So that's a 6.
Okay, so
You lied to me.
Yeah.
Anya, he pretty much effortlessly throws you back into the room where he is. They've been keeping you for a couple of days, and now he can reach down, pick up his sword, and properly attack Jylith with his last attack. And he does terrible with it, just terrible. I'm not even going to read
Because
off.
he feels bad for throwing a woman.
Ooh.
Yeah. What's your passive insight?
Me?
Yeah.
Passive insight. Let's see.
Yeah,
Give me
because you
a
did just
second.
get thrown, so I'm not going to ask you to roll it.
Passive is 14.
Yeah, you're pretty sure he doesn't have sympathy for anybody. But it is no longer his turn. It is Styx's turn. Styx, he just threw Princess Anya across the deck.
Yeah, so I'm not very happy about that. I'm gonna try to attack him with my rapier.
Okay, attack him with your rapier.
I do not attack him with my rapier because I only get a 10. I was just so pissed off I couldn't really think clearly.
Yeah.
However, I am gonna cast Bardic Inspiration on Jyla.
Okay. And Jylith, it is now your turn.
Alright, before we continue, what die is your Bardic Inspiration?
Be a
My Bardic
D6 right now,
Inspiration
right?
is a 1d6.
96, thank you, because that may be needed. Hey,
Marley is yelling, guys, we can't beat him. We have to go.
If he's yelling that, Anya's saying, "Hi, still stuck in a room."
Yeah, I was trying to fix that.
that
None of
moment,
Was
you are
I?
going anywhere.
that moment
Go to hell,
hearing
that's fine.
in the backseat pirate say those words. Charles is 45. All of a sudden he's 6. but we're the opponent.
Giles, do you want to try to prove this guy wrong?
Lightning breath. We're doing it.
Okay.
All right.
Lightning
Yes, he just has to do dexterity check. 12 is the DC.
Okay, and he's in plate armor, so that's disadvantage for that. And okay, yeah, he is definitely going to get hit by a lightning breath.
All right. That's gonna be 10 lightning damage.
Okay, that it seemed like he felt that a little bit more than he has felt some of these other attacks. But not, but still, that just made sure that he's staying focused on you.
Just the way I see it.
I love that.
Sounded like a sneeze.
Yeah.
Nacho!
It might as well have been because he's just in mid. He's like,
Anya, it is your turn.
Okay, so Anya's been thrown back away from him. She's gonna like stand up, brush herself off. She's casting Mind Spike.
Okay.
So he needs to make a wisdom save of 12.
Okay. He's going to make that. And I think
Okay, so,
Anya, you're frozen up.
where is it? Give me a second. He takes half damage.
Yes.
Oh, there she
Can
is.
you hear me now?
Yes. I
Okay,
heard
perfect.
half damage.
He takes 9 damage
Okay.
of the. Hang on, I can tell you what the kind is. 'Cause my
I
brain
believe
is
with
not-
Mind Spike is probably psychic damage.
That it is.
Okay. Yep. That actually seemed to get his attention more than the lightning did. Because he's very focused on you on a personal level now. So,
Yeah,
congratulations.
so she just kind of. Thank you. As he turns around, she says, "Call me a witch again."
And Marley is going to make his attacks, and those are not going great for him. I'm going to be honest. It's like the DM can't roll well. He draws another drop of blood
Ooh, a
as
drop.
as he
Do
is
do
trying
dollar
to.
for Daisy.
You've already got your trick roll, so you're not going to earn anything new just yet from me.
Not even an inspiration.
Not for that one. You got to do a little bit better. Trust me,
Darn it.
I think the reason I wanted to bring in the trick rolls because I like them a little more than just the inspirations. But you might need it
Yeah.
with this fight at the way it's going.
yeah, you're gonna need a little extra pizzazz when you're doing this kind of stuff.
Oh my god.
Remember when I said I was going to need energy drinks? Joseph, it's your turn. I need a moment.
I just look at the tabaxi and go, save the princess. We'll handle this guy. As I once again lash out with psychic blades.
Okay, lash out with psychic blades.
First one misses completely with a 10.
Yep, that misses.
Second one, 15. I think at this point I'm going to use my freaking die thingy
Okay.
trick roll because, yeah,
Okay.
Gylith is not Gylith. Wow, I rolled a 4.
Okay. So 15 times 4, you basically got a 60
60
on him. So
Yeah.
go ahead and
To
roll.
hit?
Yes.
Our trick roll.
So roll damage.
Yep. Good news is that with everybody else fighting him, I do believe I get sneak. I do
Yes,
believe I
you
get.
definitely get. He's got 5 other people on him, so yes, you get sneak damage.
All right.
And what, psychic damage at that?
Yep. So that all together is 14 damage, all psychic.
Okay, 14 damage. That was quite honestly the biggest single hit on him so far. because suddenly that armored head whips around to you, Joseph.
Bring it, baby.
And he is going to pick up his giantly stupid oversized sword. What's your AC?
15.
Okay, he's going to bring the stupidly oversized sword down on top of you. Let me find the proper dice to roll. So that is going to be... Oh, let me get him right quick. That is going to be 13 points of slashing damage as the stupidly oversized sword hits you.
I am still standing.
Okay.
Still
And
standing.
Styx, it is your turn.
It is my turn. I'm gonna go and yell at Anya. Anya, get your butt on this other ship right now. And she's just gonna still have her rapier out, and she's gonna cast Bardic Inspiration on Anya and just start heading back towards the ship to just get out of this situation so they can leave.
Okay, make an acrobatics or athletics to maneuver through the rest of the fighting, because the only reason nobody else joined this guy is because they think Sir Reginald can handle 6 opponents all by himself.
Yeah, I got a 6.
Okay, so you're only able to move at about half speed right now, but
Okay.
because unless you make yourself a direct target, most of them probably aren't going to, directly attack you. Giles,
Shadow.
Like a white shadow.
this guy is no longer facing you. You were not worthy to hit with the stupidly oversized sword.
We're gonna change that.
If I can't have a crown, I'll have a sword.
That moment where he drops table shield, brings out great sword, and he goes like, "Look at me when I'm talking to you!" And swing.
Wing.
The 10. But I like to cash my trick roll here.
Okay.
Come on, trick roll 2, so that'll be a 20.
Okay, 20 is enough to hit him. And since you used your trick roll, I will say that you can bring the sword down right on his sword arm, making him basically take notice of you. Anya, what do you want to do?
Anya's gonna just try and get to follow Styx.
Okay, so you need to make athletics or acrobatics, but at disadvantage because he's trying to keep you in there.
Yeah, I know.
But you've also, well, no, we'll say not at disadvantage because he's got 2 people who just earned his attention a little bit stronger.
It's an 11 again.
Okay, let's
Doing
just
really well, you guys.
let's just check because he's a little bit focused on the guys who actually cause damage to him at the moment. So I'm not going to say you're very far away, but you're like trying to sneak out very slowly around the door. As
That works.
Marley is going to grab your hand and start running. So you're able to get a little
Yeah, we
further away.
run. We go. Keep holding
Yeah.
my hand.
Like, okay, gotta go. Joseph, it is your turn.
Yeah, I'm going to shove the psychic rapier into this guy's face
Okay.
with a nat 1.
Okay.
I'm gonna stab his face.
I'm going to just ask you this. Do you want to describe how you fail?
I
Fucking roast.
reach out and almost try to, like as if I'm about to shove a blade into his face, and then I just gently caress the armored head before I enact disengage as my bonus action and start running away.
Oh,
Remember me
Joseph,
by.
stop giving him his attention.
I
It's my
like
turn.
that. You turn it into a feint and you spin around and run for it.
That's so impressive.
So, you know what? Give us let's call that a deception check, or no, let's make a
Deception
performance.
check.
performance. Let's see how if you can turn that into like, yeah, I totally meant to do
Is that just
that.
me, please?
This is just for
12.
me. 12?
12.
Okay. Most people probably believe that you were totally fainting.
And all of a sudden you see in the left corner, Dryalith will remember this.
It's like I caress his cheek and start running for. Actually, I'm gonna disengage and start running for the helm of of his ship.
Okay. Because you disengage, he will stay focused on Gylith, who just had the audacity to actually make him try to drop his sword for a second time. Unfortunately, a 13 isn't going to be enough. So
Nope.
he brings his sword down, and I guess, Giles, you kind of block it with your own.
Oh yeah.
And Styx, it is your turn, and if you want, you can, sort of aid the others in running, or you can interfere with somebody else by attacking them.
I will just aid the others by running.
Okay, so I'm going to say that for everyone who chooses to run, then, there's no more checks. You're just all, you're working together to move. So, but I will still ask you about your actions. Gylith, this is about to become a one-on-one fight.
Scarlett,
Dude.
get out of there.
No, is that actually someone speaking to him?
I got to know. All right.
Nope. I'm just pretty much like running for the helm of the
I
ship.
like that this is someone who actually makes his own wisdom checks to decide how he's going to react. How is Gylith going to react?
Because I know because one of those moments, I know he clearly sees people are starting to make their runs.
Yes.
But it's that dilemma of does he stay or does he go? So I would have to do a wisdom save. Because I'm dealing with an idiot. 6, he's standing ground.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Are you just going to keep, your physical attacks are doing almost nothing to him? Do you want to change your tactic, or do you want to try to slash him again? Because maybe if you cut him hard enough, he'll feel it.
He's going to try one last time.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So it is here. He's going with great sword in hand, and he's going for that sword hand.
Okay. That's going to make it just a little bit more difficult, but
Yes.
go for it.
And a swing. And no, it's not going to do much, but there's a chance using Bardic Inspiration. Alright, only 17 total.
Okay. So, just curious, what was your Bardic Inspiration number?
5.
5? Okay, that was really good for a Bardic Inspiration. So let me do a check here, because I do love to reward things. But he just rolled 2 18s to not drop his sword. But still, he's like, after I take your head, I'm going to take that little toothpick and mount your head on it. Anya, it is your turn. Are you going to run, or are you going to interfere?
She looks at Gylith and she telepathically says, "Get the hell out of there, please. I need help," and starts to go.
Okay. So you and Marley and Styx all make it, and you are able to jump across onto the other boat, which is, I would say, is mostly manned by humans, but you do see a few other beast folk, because you also see as he kind of calls back, "Everybody on the boat!" And there is a birdman who is flying around, actually trying to cut down some of the sails of the church's boat. And Joseph, what were you doing?
I am just going to run my entire body weight into the yoke of the ship and try to dislodge the wheel.
Okay, well, there's someone who's at the wheel, so because There's the militant church fighting, and then there are the sailors who are just trying to keep things from sinking. So
How
one
does a
of
ship
them,
work?
but
To the guy at the
I
wheel.
just want to tell you that basically you're trying to, basically shoulder check another person while you do
They've
this.
got they've just got the e-brake on. We're just sitting in the water fighting. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. There's one boat is lashed to the other, but anyway, I'm just trying to set the scene. So Joseph,
Yeah.
you're running, you're weaving around people, you're ready to slam into this guy. Give me an athletics check, but at disadvantage because of the crowded boat.
Nine.
You're running. You jump with all your shoulder weight. Like, I've done this so many times. And you basically bounce off the much larger captain who kind of looks around at you. Someone throw this person overboard. We'll get back to you in a moment. Because
After these minutes.
Gyleth, he's going to hit you with a stupidly oversized sword. You are going to take 10 points of slashing damage.
I would like to use a reaction.
Okay, you can use a reaction.
I'm gonna use reaction of interception to try to decrease the damage.
Oh, nice. So what do you roll for that?
I roll a 1d10 plus 2,
Okay,
and what the result is a reduced amount of damage.
okay.
Ooh, come on, the spirits of trick roll, be with me upon this day. Oh, 10 on the die, so it is parried.
Oh, nice. So he's swinging down with his giant sword, and you just knock it aside.
It is not a toothpick.
And now run. And you run. And you film the
Run,
movement,
Dad.
and
We're
you
Okay.
run.
running.
And you
So-
go.
Joseph, if you don't mind, we're going to stick with this battle for a moment, because then we're going to get back to you. Because the other two are on the boat, and unless you guys start flinging magic across, I assume you're going to be smart, and, because Marley is starting to cut the ties to get away from the boat. So, Gyleth, this big armored man, and I think Dragonborn probably have a slightly different sense of smell than, say, the humans.
Yes.
There's something about this guy that I would say his scent reminds you of. How much is Gyleth around war horses?
Before he took on adventuring, it was common.
Okay, so he would know sort of the smell like a saddle has after being, sweaty from a horse and all. Something about this guy reminds you of that. It's just odd, especially, But anyway, he's gonna say, "You're a better fighter than I thought, but you will still die, and that witch will burn." And he rolled two
Okay.
13s on his attacks. Nope, sorry. That would be 17. I was looking at the wrong one. What was your AC?
18 without table.
Okay, then he makes two swings at you, but both times he's just hacking up the boat as you kind of moving aside slightly. It is your turn. Yes, Triana.
I have to put my dog out real quick.
Okay, no
So-
problem.
I'm just gonna.
Just mute and
Yeah.
we'll let you come right back.
We'll move forward.
Yeah, just don't turn off your camera because that messes up all of our alignment. Okay, Gyleth. The battle rages on. Or does
It's, it's at this moment, even though he is an idiot, he has enough wisdom to see his battlefield is going to fall apart.
it? Mm-hmm.
So as one effort, he'll just lock eyes on this worthy opponent. He's gonna make a run, but he's gonna do one last stab, but only with table shield.
Okay.
As if anything, if there's any retaliation, he's hitting shield.
So you're going to try to slam into him with table
So
shield.
he's basically as he's running,
Yeah.
he's gonna try to shove.
Okay, that's more of an athletics, and
Yes.
because plate armor on a boat is probably not the smartest thing in the world, I will let you try this at advantage because I like it,
All right.
and I really want this to succeed. But I can't give you, another trick.
See, now
roll.
you've jinxed it by saying you want it to succeed.
All right. With the advantage, she rolled a 22 on the shove.
Okay. Yeah. Let's just see what his. Okay. Yeah. His deck save was a 10. So, Giles, as he's coming down with the sword, you kind of turn and slam into him, and you knock him into the room, and he stumbles into a dresser. Sword is stuck in the wall, and he is on the ground.
Go, 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 go.
Yeah, it's at that moment, it's like, all right. He's joining his friends on the other ship.
Okay. Now, I'm going to say that, with your already impressive athletic display, you barreling through people isn't going to be too much of a problem. You can get to the boat. That's why we're going back to Joseph, who is about to be chunked over. Joseph, a couple of people come and grab you. Make whichever save you feel is most appropriate to get away from them, athletics or acrobatics.
Acrobatics. An 8.
An 8. They didn't do great, but they did well enough. So you're squirming as one grabs your arms and one grabs your legs, and they just start bringing you to the opposite side of the boat, ready to chunk you over.
Is one of them holding does one of them have like a pocket watch or anything like a map or anything on them?
Quite possibly. These aren't the fighters. These were, just the rough and tumble sailor types who, weren't like. There's the militant church, and then there's the regular sailors. They probably have things on them.
All right, I am just going. As they're about to chuck me off, I'm just gonna steal something off of one of the guys as best as I can.
Okay, make a sleight of hand. Because they're over. A what?
A 7.
A 7. So
Are your rolls getting lower and lower?
Yeah.
It seems that way. Okay. This is going to be a little bit fun. So you were trying to get your hand into a pocket on a vest or something.
Oh no.
And as they throw you, your arm gets hung in his vest, and you pull the guy with you. So now you're dangling, your arm hung in his vest. He's like, get me off. Someone's holding onto his belt. It's like the Barrel of Monkeys game, only you're the monkey.
Your personality is just so magnetic.
He's like,
Oh, Lordy.
and they're calling for help. They're like, because he can't spare his arm to stab you. The other guy can't let go because then his friend will fall over. Someone kill this guy already. They're getting away.
I'm gonna leverage myself now so that I can just swing back onto deck before just pulling my hand away and running over to the other ship.
Okay, this is going to be a disadvantage because you got to unhang yourself from him. But I'll let you try it.
Oh, this is absolutely.
No!
What now? I'm afraid to look. I'm afraid to
I don't want to
look.
look, but I have to look.
My one nat 20 of the game, and it's on a disadvantage roll.
Oh no!
No.
Oh,
So I rolled a 9.
9.
That is the worst ever.
Okay, because you are tangled up with this guy. Well, so you start kind of swinging, and as you're like, okay, this is gonna work, you feel it. You're like, your leg, you're going up, the leg's about to come over. Somebody comes, grabs your leg, pushes you back, and you fall into water.
No.
I just kind of stare up at the sky, just doing just starting to do the backstroke, going, At least Kelsic isn't here to. At least Yeslik isn't here to make fun of me for this.
But one dwarf does walk by and just looks at you and throws a mug at your head. And it bounces
hit?
off your head with a nat 20.
Oh my sweet Moses!
Oh,
Oh my gosh, he got mugged.
Welcome back, Danielle.
Thank you. I know you missed me.
I feel that one was worth an inspiration. Remember, you guys, if you keep setting the bar higher and higher, those are going to be harder to get. But that was a good one.
I feel like instead of bouncing off the rim, he just put me right into the cup.
We already had someone who earned the inspiration
I know.
off of this one. So, but
Ha!
so Joseph is going to be on the far side of the boat, whereas Marley is taking his boat and trying to get away now, which means that there's a reverse boarding action, and they're all fighting off everyone else. So, Styx, Joseph just fell into the far side of the ocean.
He got mugged.
And Marley is trying to get his boat, which, of course, because his bird friend was slashing up the sails, means that they are going to start to leave the other ship behind.
Did we see Joseph get tossed overboard?
Make a perception check.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Okay.
11 on that check.
I got a 13 on that.
Okay.
That's a 10.
Oh my gosh!
I feel like with that, Styx probably saw him being taken away by people, but not thrown overboard.
Okay.
And like I said, at this point, the pirate ship, and Anya, what was the name of Marley's ship?
Oh, improv moment.
You were the one reading the book.
I know. The Alice May.
Yeah, Alice May is pulling away from the boat. The militant church's ship is unable to follow because, as you see, this Kenku fellow sort of lands with he's got like bandoliers of pistols, just kind of lands next to Marley and just says, "Alright, Captain, they ain't following us now." And Marley is going to turn and say, "Oh, that was perfectly according to plan. By the way," and he turns to Giles, "who are you?"
I am King Gileth. Who are you?
"I am Marley." He kind of looks over at Anya and is like, "Okay, so he's not your dad, is he?"
No.
"Okay, then,
Why would
What?
he?
well, you're a princess. He's king of where? You know what?
He's a dragonborn? I don't know
Yeah,
if you can tell. Not
Um,
dragonborn.
I know, but
so
how many
sorry.
kings are there?"
So sorry to interrupt, but has anyone seen Joseph?
"Who?
The rogue that was.
How
rogue
many
Joseph.
people are trying to kidnap you today?"
She's very popular.
"I can tell."
Gileth, where's Joseph?
He was right that. Giles will try to call for Joseph very loudly.
Can we try and find
Just give me a
Joseph?
second for this one.
Yeah, I really not able to check messages very easily, but I'm going to get to you, Joseph. Just give me a second. So, Marley's just standing there. It's like, "Look, we don't have time to sort this out. We'll get this sorted out when we're outside of cannon range."
Well, what if my friend is still in cannon range?
He kind of looks around like, "We can't go back. I've already lost enough people trying to get you this far."
I'm sorry.
Jarvis,
why are we
did you make
sorry?
it to the ship?
It's a knee-jerk
Joseph.
reaction. She was taught to be polite.
Yes. Joseph. As soon as they figure out the militant church ship figure out they're not going anywhere, they do eventually throw a net to try to get you back in.
No.
Now, I want to be clear.
No,
You said
no,
you were going to try to swim towards the pirate ship.
Yep.
I feel like you understand that's next to impossible, right? They're at full sail.
He's part merman.
Yeah. So if you want
This is
to,
where the variant part awakens.
yeah. I did say you guys could take. You've been living on top of the Shadowfell portal. You can take dark gifts. I don't think that was. I mean, I'm open to suggestions. You know that. If you want to create a dark gift where you suddenly get gills and fins,
Oh, sweet Moses.
but your choices are essentially this, Joseph. You can die at sea, or you can let the militant church haul you back in.
He's like, let me roll up a new character real quick.
Give me 2 seconds.
No, no.
I mean, you can
I'm
try
contemplating
to avoid
this.
the net.
I'm going to try and avoid the net and get onto their boat because I'm just going to be like,
Okay. So I can't really say that you can take the hide action because there's nowhere to hide. You're literally floating there, and they're just trying to throw a net at you. I'm not even going to ask you to defend against this. It was 2 5s. I feel like that was adequate for you to dive underneath the boat. Now you can attempt to take. Tell me how you're going to try and sneak onto their boat.
I am going to hold on to the keel as best as I can, and I'm going to drop back towards the poop deck.
Okay?
And then I'm going to climb up from the poop deck to just beneath the main quarters for officers, and I'm just going to start continuing to climb until I reach a window, and then I'm going to get into the most unoccupied room that I can get into, and I'm going to steal everything in there that I can.
Okay. All right. I really like everything you just gave me. It is going to be a challenge, though. So you need to make an athletics check, but it's going to be a hard athletics check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go for it.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Wow.
So, Joseph, that whole plan that you just had, where you were like going to go underneath the boat, crawl, use it to guide you to the back, it sounded like such a great idea. Except that their attempts to get the boat going included putting out the oars. One of them just smacked you in the head, apparently, and then a current is just bringing you away. I'm really trying to not to murder your character, but
I'm just looking up at the sky, and I'm going, this is why rogues don't break into other rogues' places. The one that gets broken into gets a massive jinx, and it keeps following them until they break into said other rogue's house and steal something of theirs. I am going to survive this jinx, and the next time a oar comes down, he's just going to grab onto it, and he's going to hold on until it comes all the way back up to the full swing, and then he's going to continue to climb it into the crew core, into the crew area.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
I admire the confidence. So I'm going to let you
Misplaced.
attempt the athletics at disadvantage.
I just had a perfect vision of just the oar that just smacks Joseph. It just grayscale freeze frame. Yep, that's me. I'm sure you're wondering how I got myself in here.
yep. That is a 7.
Oh my
Again,
god.
you have this perfect image of how this is all going to go in your head. You're waiting for the ore. And then it smacks you straight in the face, and yes, your last thought is, I'm gonna kill you, Slick, before you are conscious.
Oh, I thought he was thinking, oh, this is gonna work, or not.
Yeah. I like to think that he knows when he missed the ore, and it's like, oh, and then smack in the face. And that is your last conscious thought.
Yep.
Everybody else.
Hey, welcome to season 2.
Season 2, where I kill everybody.
Kills us one by our own choices.
Isn't that the way these things go? Your choices will be your undoing. Oh.
That's when you just hold up, like, yeah, we're going to spy the book, and you hold up the Game of Thrones book.
Oh, I can't.
Oh. I feel that one was worth an inspiration also. Okay, everybody else, you're on the other boat, which is just trying to go full speed as fast as they can away from the one that fortunately can't really shoot cannons at them because, boats that can't turn can't shoot. That's sort of how those things work. So, the three of you know that you had to leave Joseph behind. So, I figure at this point, you can't have a conversation on deck where people are running around trying to do things. So, you can be below deck with Marley. Or Joseph can try to swim to Joseph. Giles can try to swim to Joseph because it looked like there might have been a thought going through his head. Just wanted to be sure. Okay.
Not with my armor. No, I'll
Okay, good.
I'll sink.
I'm glad you realized that.
Doesn't matter how good my breaststroke is, I'll just plummet.
So, you're all down in the deck with Marley and the Kenku named Crowley. Look, I'm sorry about your friend. If I'd known you had another rescue party, maybe we wouldn't have gotten involved. Although, considering your rescue party, I'm kind of glad we did.
I didn't know my rescue party was going to be here, so...
See, this is why people who really need to learn how to coordinate all their nefarious plans.
Who are you?
No.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh. I asked, who are you? Where are we? When is this?
What's your favorite color? What is your
Well,
quest?
And he's like, oh, well, forgive me. I guess during all this I forgot to make proper introductions. I'm Marley. I'm your captor. This is Crowley. Kenku kind of waves at you. The ship is... you just told me and I just wrote it down.
The Alice May.
Oh, yes. We are on the Alice May. And, well... I'm pretty sure that we can just drop all pretense that the Church of the Goddess had any good intention by keeping you. So I feel like we're not really the bad guys right now. Although you probably don't feel that way because you just lost a friend. And I get that. But the Church wants to kind of keep you because of the prophecy. Because, well, and we already know all that, so...
What do we know exactly?
I mean, it seems really gauche to actually just, like, go over it all again. It feels very pointless.
Yes, the prophecy. The person,
The prophecy for Cusco.
the person in the prophecy.
Please tell me
Too
these
much
are
chaos,
things
you
you're
guys.
saying right then and there.
This is how we cope with trauma. This is how we cope with stress.
Oh.
The person in the prophecy with the person. Yes.
The person's prophecy told by a person
With the prophecies.
with the prophecies.
So they are going to be behind us very soon. So we're going to have to do some... unsafe things to try to get us all somewhere safe.
Right, because attacking a ship and crossing over ropes was, so safe. I feel like I'm okay with unsafe things at this point.
Well, I'm glad we've all come to an understanding. So, if there's anything we can do for you that doesn't involve us getting shot at again, just let us know. Obviously, we have some places you can rest up. We're going to be aiming for the Serpent's Run, so maybe don't do anything that causes more noise than necessary for the next couple of hours. Because we
Why-
don't want to get eaten.
Why do they call it the Serpent's Run if serpents don't have feet?
He's just like, okay, I like you. And he turns and leaves.
Prophecy.
So, Anya, can you tell us exactly how you're a princess?
I don't know. I dropped into I was in the library, and I opened a book, and I was reading it, and then I was here.
Was the book you were reading... Are we in the book?
I would guess, seeing as Captain Marley Higgins just walked out of this room, and Sir Reginald was there, and they're calling me a witch. I don't
Did you finish the book?
know.
Do you know how to get us out of the book?
Finish the storyline, maybe?
Great idea, honey. Now how do we do that?
Wait, this is all just an illusion by the castle. I'm pretty sure I know someone can help us. Weathers! Weathers! Weathers!
The door does open, and Crowley sticks his head in. Is everything okay? Because you remember the part about the Serpent's Run and us not getting eaten? I don't want to get eaten by sea serpents.
Crowley. How far off would it be for you to believe that we don't actually belong in this world?
Where do you belong?
In another world.
In a world.
Of course. Well, in this world, we're about to sail through a really dangerous patch of water, and someone close to the edge screaming might attract the things that will eat us.
Well, we won't scream. We were just curious where we're going exactly.
Also, she looks at Six, and she gets really close, and she whispers, "I don't know how to tell him that I haven't read far enough to know what the prophecy is."
The prophecy.
She's not the princess you're looking for.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a sorceress, and the princess is a sorceress, and the church wants her, but nobody would tell her what the prophecy was. And apparently they know, but how do I? What am I?
You're obviously the person in the prophecy that the prophecy's for. Obviously. But also, why are we whispering this when you can talk to me telepathically?
She wants to include me, I'm very sure.
I feel this is an
Yes, of
excellent
course.
place for us to take a quick break. And we will come back to the part of the story where no one knows what's going on because it isn't narratively correct to drop in the actual information yet. This storyline is going exactly as I pictured it.
This is great.
You have no idea what's happening. Well, that's normal.
Yeah, I didn't finish the stupid
Joseph's
book.
captured,
Oh, well,
Joseph is unconscious in the water.
And we'll be back
More than
in
likely
about
dead.
5 minutes or so.
Okay.
Okay, is this why there's a prophecy?
Anyway,
And
in a
we
world.
are back in a
Where no one gives
world
a fuck.
where people have no idea what's going on.
And
I
the
have
points
no
are
idea
made
what's
up.
going on.
Welcome back to Trick Roll, where the game is made up and the experience doesn't matter. But what does matter is that Joseph has woken up in the brig, chained to a wall. There is a man in church attire who is sitting on the other side of you, having a nice cup of tea. He takes a sip, like, you're finally awake.
I'm used to being paid before this sort of thing happens, not used to waking up to finding it.
And this is why the church is needed to curb the heathens such as yourself. So, if you tell us where the princess is being held, we can go and properly save her from the beastmen. And your execution will be much quicker.
Looks like we're both going to be in for a long night of torture.
This is what happens when you take Kyle off of network. Oh,
Yeah, we said no more network, and he went, woo!
yeah.
Because I'm going to be sitting here just humming to myself because I have no clue on what you're asking. And you're going to be sitting there going, which toenail am I going to rip out next?
And that's when you notice the big armored figure on the other side of the room and just says, I told you there was no point in saving this witch. We should just douse them in oil, set them on fire, and throw them into the water. One of those will deal with it.
I'm sorry. I kind of look at my. Have I been like disrobed of my armor?
Your hands are chained to a wall, but they took your knives, but they left your armor on. I mean, it was leather armor anyway, wasn't it?
Smoldering leather armor. So yeah,
So
I can.
So,
Ooh.
like, they've taken away any weapons that you had on you, and you're also restrained, so...
I just kind of look around the room to see if there's anything else, and to see if my stuff is actually in there, or if it's been sequestered away to a different.
It's
thing.
on, you see, like, a small, I'm not going to say it's elaborate enough to be a chest, but there's a storage box on the other side of the room. There's a good chance that some stuff has been put in there, but it's closed. And the man in the church attire just looks up at the Sir Reginald and says, "We must always give them a chance to repent, to at least save their immortal soul, if nothing else." And he turns back to you, Joseph, and says, "Now, he obviously wants to purge anyone who with even a trace of magic, for a good reason, but that doesn't, it's not your fault that you were infected, and that the royal family was so lax in allowing beastmen and other heathenous creatures to walk these lands. We're trying to fix that, but we need your help. If you are willing to be of service, then perhaps we can reform you rather than recycle you."
I just look at the chains, look at them, look at the chains, look at them, look at the giant dude in the armor. And then just looks around the room and goes, "Can somebody pass the collection plate, please? I do believe I have a tithe to pay."
He wants to make a
They're
new
just
character.
sort of staring at you at that remark.
That kind of church, huh? Okay. Not a plenary indulgence or anything?
The cardinal just says, "We have some time. Maybe you would like to think it over." And with that, they are going to exit. The man does. The man in armor takes a moment longer to walk away, but they finally leave. You hear the door lock on the other side.
I am going to see if my lock picks are on the stuff that's on the side.
On what side?
On my stuff that's been displayed out, apparently.
Oh, well, you don't see your you don't see your weapons, but I'm going to say that a good rogue would always hide lockpicks on him. So let's just see how well they would have searched you. It's not your good stuff, but you have a couple of bits of wire kind of tucked away.
Yeah. Joseph just kind of reaches up with the chains, noticing that they haven't taken off his earring, because it's like, okay, starts sliding out a piece of wire from in there, and then he picks it. He makes to pick the lock on the chains.
Okay, give us a check on that.
It's a sleight of hand, yeah.
Dexterity with your proficiency.
Okay. 11.
11. These chains are better than that, but that just means it's going to take you a little bit of time, because otherwise you would just roll again a couple minutes later. So
Slick.
It's going to take you a while. You know, you're over here, you're trying to do this, you know, like in chains. Not even your good stuff. These are really good chains. So it's going to take you a few minutes.
Slick. When I get out of this, I swear, I swear on every rogue, on every guild, you're going to pay. This jinx, I am going to remove it.
Eventually, you do get one of the cuffs off. Then you have to spend another 10 minutes working on the other one, which goes slightly better, because now you've got one hand free to try to work on it. But eventually, you do pop them free. You can go and you can collect your daggers, which were kept in that box.
Yay.
But now you have the other problem of, just because your hands are free and you have a blade, doesn't change the fact that you're trapped on an enemy ship, locked inside their brig.
Well, there is not always a way.
So, what's your brilliant plan now, oh great mastermind rogue? Sorry, not even a mastermind rogue, that's an actual class. What is your great plan now, Mr. Body Check Everything?
I am going to see if I can pick the lock to my cell.
Okay. Go ahead and make another dexterity check using your thieves' tools.
16.
Okay. This one goes a little bit quicker because, you know, it's easier when your hands aren't bound. And you're able to ease open the door. Now you're no longer trapped on an enemy ship. You're stuck on an enemy ship.
I'm going to search for my good stuff. Because I'm not leaving here without my good stuff.
Well, that was in the box. You've already retrieved your stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I am.
Now he
what I'm
must
going-
find the true good stuff.
The better stuff.
Yes. I am going to. I'm going to sneak around the ship to try and steal a map, because this is a ship. It's got to have a map somewhere.
Okay. So as
And
you're
then I'm
starting to open up the gate to the brig, the doors to the brig, you do see that they didn't leave you completely unarmed. The next room does have some people, but those people are already doing what guards do, and they're trying to, you know, while away the boredom. and so they're playing cards over to the side.
See, one part of my brain is going, I could just step out, play cards with them, and go, if I win, I don't tell anybody that I got out of the cell. If you win, I go back in the cell and we do it, and I let the priest badger me for an hour.
Oh, you challenge them in rogue games.
I mean, if you want to try that, go right ahead. That's obviously a persuasion check.
Screw it, I'm feeling like a comedian. I'm feeling like this is going to be comedic gold. I'm just going to, like, step out and just kind of, like, brush myself off a bit and go, all right, if I win, I don't tell anybody that I got out while you guys were on watch. If you win, I go back into the cell, and then I let the priest brainwash me into becoming another mindless drone of the church.
Make a persuasion check.
Come on,
15.
Okay. They two kind of look at each other and it's like, okay, but if you win, you just have to thump us on the head just hard enough to leave a knot, so that way it looks like we, got...
Oh, yes, I want your dignity intact.
Okay, then. All right, so they start shuffling the deck. All right, how do we want to do this?
I'm going to cheat my arse off.
Well, I mean, like, what kind of game did you have planned?
I
My
was-
idea is roll 1d6, highest, basically you're cutting the deck. 'Cause- So
Yeah,
they-
we're gonna be playing 21, and I'm just gonna be sneaking cards into my hands so that I'm either the highest by 1 or the highest by 2.
Okay. I'm trying to think of how we can do this quickly with rolls, so... let's make it, instead of 21, we'll make it 18, so we roll 3d6. And I'm going to get their rolls first. Alright, so the way I'm doing this is, you roll 3d6, and you can re-roll you can re-roll any of the dice you want, but, you can roll each one, re-roll... making up rules real quick. You can re-roll one die legally. Now, you are going to be cheating if you don't win. So
Yep.
let me roll them, and then I will tell you, what they have shown.
All right, I have a 4, 6, and a 1, totaling up to 11. So I'm going
Okay.
to re-roll the 1.
Okay. Re-roll your 1.
I got a 4.
Okay. Now, one of them has a 10, so he's going to lose. The other one has a 15. What was your legal score?
Legal score was 11. I think.
Okay. Now, you wanted to try to cheat as much as possible.
Yes.
So that will be re-rolling one of your die will be a sleight of hand check, but re-rolling 2 die will be at disadvantage.
I will re-roll 1.
Okay.
I got a 7.
All right. What does that put your total score up to?
Okay. So legally with just the one that was re-rolled normally, it was a 14.
Okay.
So with the sleight of hand check, we're going to be going 21, if that's the thing, if it adds into that.
Well, with the highest would have been 18, but that sounds like,
Yeah.
because you were re-rolling, not adding to it. But yeah, you were able to, you were able to do your sleight of hand jiggery pokery to show them the higher score, and they're just like, all right, don't actually knock us out, just hit us hard enough to leave a lump, and we'll lay down on the floor. We catch you doing anything else, we're sounding the alarm.
That's fine.
You
Perfectly
get-
fine.
You get 10 minutes, and then we have to sound the alarm. So
You are very gracious, sirs.
okay. So, are you going to abide by those rules and just tap them on the head?
Yeah, I'm going to hit them hard enough to leave a knot. I mean, they've been gentlemen in this game.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you weren't going to like pull a psychic blade out and try to finish them off.
God, no! No! They've been nice! They've been nice!
Okay. Well, just want to be sure. Okay. So they go through the whole charade of like, oh, and then carefully lay down on the floor. They
I
close
lay
one
down
eye. The other one's looking at you.
I lay down their wine cups close to them. That way they can actually sip from them while they're laying there, and then I just go.
12 minutes.
19 on the stealth.
Okay. They obviously thought these were competent people, and you slip away onto the boat.
Yeah, I'm just going to go. Be like, okay, this is.
Yeah. With that, you've already got. You said you had the sailor background, or
I've got the criminal background, but I do have the ability to sail ships.
okay. We're gonna say with that, you are able to find your way to get the right costuming. You find a couple of discarded uniforms that were in the wash. They don't smell too bad. You're free on the boat.
I am going to move about as best as I can to keep myself disguised and just grab a map, get into a lifeboat, and start rowing for England.
Okay. Because that is a combination of things, we're gonna say this is a charisma investigation check. So you're basically, do you have any points in investigation? Like, do you have a proficiency?
Yes, I do. I
Okay,
actually do have
then
it. As
I want you to roll charisma because you're trying to be deceptive, but add your proficiency for investigation because you're also trying to look for the right things.
Okay,
So-
so that's going to be charisma, which nat 20. What? So in total, it's 24.
Okay, yeah. With 11 minutes past, you have gotten a world map. You double check the charts. You mark roughly where you are. You figure out, the best place to try to sail a lifeboat to get, because and you even overhear them talking about where they're going to need to go, and you're using all this information to try to figure out, okay, they're going to have the sails up by the end of the night. They're resewing everything. You're going to be able to get a few, maybe 8 hours head start. Fortunately, with that roll, you're going to get going. So now, you're sailing off into the night as you hear, "The prisoners escape! The prisoners escape!" And that's why you always give them the wine glass.
With that high of a check, I just imagine how he contained the map. He just like, "Hey dudes, I lost my map. Is there any spares?" Like, "Fine, but don't lose it."
Yeah. It was like, they're all in the chart room, like, give me that map, give me this map, give me a map. There's a map.
Back.
Yeah. Back with the rest of the group, it has been a day. The ship is pulling into the pirate dock. You were able to avoid the serpents because that could have been a fight, but we're already going a little long. So basically, they're gathering everybody together. It's like, so Princess, obviously we don't want to have to keep you any longer than is absolutely necessary, but, well, if we don't know what the church is going to do with you, and I don't imagine that you really want to find out. So, if we can figure out a way to, you know what? Actually, I guess I didn't really think about past breaking you out, because
Wonderful hands.
It's almost like she hadn't read that far in the book. Ooh.
Stick, stop doing that. You're gonna scare her.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
oh, Marley is just saying that the problem with prophecies is we don't know if you are the destroyer or the savior, because or we don't even know if any of it's true. And he's pulling out like some various old books, the sort of thing that you recall from your reading that the church was trying to get rid of. And he's like, so your great-great-grandmother, the first queen, apparently was a powerful sorceress who trapped the monster. And again, nobody really remembers what the monster was. And it is only one of her blood who can set it free. So, seriously, can anybody ever write these down in more thoroughly? It would really help when, the time comes along and the chosen one is born, and now we don't know if we're supposed to use your blood to keep it locked up or to unleash all hell upon the world.
But I wouldn't think that anybody would want to unleash all hell upon the world.
Well,
Nobody wants that much chaos.
yeah, that's what the church is claiming will happen if, they didn't. Okay, basically, from what you understood on the subtext of everything in the book, was the church is going for a power grab. They've been building up their military might for quite a while, and the whole you being under protective custody is really just, look, if you don't hand her over, we're going to go to war and everybody's going to die. So the king had to, make some, is a balance of power situation. Marley is here to disrupt that power. Because obviously the church is the burn everyone who doesn't agree with us type.
Mm-hmm. What are your plans?
Well, my plan was to drink a lot and hope that we somehow figure out how to stop them before they figure out whatever it is they're going to do.
And
Cannons would also be helpful.
And drinking a lot is going to help with that.
Oh, not at all, but it's really going to relax me while something better comes up. I mean, we can try to hide you away, but we have to do something about the church, or, well, they're going to keep doing what they're doing.
Well, can
You
we
could kill her.
prove-
We actually did consider that, but what if we need her to stop the horrible thing?
Like it's actually just her blood, not actually herself.
If you have a better interpretation of the prophecy, we're all open to it, but it's...
Well, what if you could get us back to the world that we need to go back to? Then if
Okay,
she's
we're going to call
gone-
that Plan B. Just
What is Plan A?
Plan A is we focus on reality.
How can you not believe that we're from a different world?
Well, maybe you are, but I don't. Crowley, do you have a portal gate anywhere? Nope. Do you know anybody who does have a portal gate anywhere? No.
Well, then let's go find someone who has a portal gate. Back in our world, they were very popular. We lived right next to a whole nother realm of dimension.
Okay. Well, if you can find one, we'll escort you to it.
Perfect. Where are your maps? Where are your books?
They will guide you to. It's not an elaborate library, but it is a collection that they have been trying to build up.
Yeah, I'm gonna start reading through the books.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh no. It's gonna give me like a nat 1.
Don't call it. Everybody.
16.
Okay. We're going to get back to you on that. I'm
Okay.
going to make sure I'm right down. So, as they take Styx, to do the research, he just kind of Marley turns over to you, Anya, and says, "Did she get hit in the head recently or something?"
No, she's kind of on track. But I don't know how to explain it well. Is this
Well,
Is there somebody we can find who can actually interpret the prophecy correctly?
well, anybody who kind of had that kind of knowledge, well, the Cardinal's been trying to round those people up. Now, ideally, we could have tried to sink his boat and kill him, but then, we would have risked killing you, and not everybody on that boat probably deserved to die. But the Cardinal is the one who is sort of making the whole power play. So if we can find a way to stop him and not turn him into a martyr, maybe we got a chance here.
I mean, that's fine, but why does a pirate care?
Ah, see, that's a very good question. I don't want to get burnt at the stake for being a heathenist beastman. I have a lot of friends who would be burnt at the stake for being heathens. Basically, we just don't really, at least with your dad in charge, we're able to live and not be, well, unless we actually break too many of the rules. We're kind of left alone. We like that. The church has been, well, killing everybody who doesn't bend the knee. I thought maybe we'd stop that. Now, if you're for that, we can give you a boat and send you on your way, but then we're going to get out of here.
I want to help. How am I supposed to? I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. What beast am I supposed to defeat or trap or keep trapped?
And I figure
There's
that
no one?
This conversation has probably been going on for a little while now, because Styx, with your 16, you didn't find a portal home, but you did find a couple of cross-reference things, and you found the a reference to ancient caverns where a cult was living at, and maybe that could be the answer. So I feel like Styx burst in with the map. I think I found it.
I think I found it, guys. I think I found a way for us to go home and not to have to worry about this situation anymore. It's a cult.
And that's where we're going to end for the week,
I love cults.
with Joseph paddling away into the night, hoping he's heading in the right direction. Styx with an answer, maybe, possibly, and Giles just thinking, I'm gonna beat that guy.
Yep.
I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna take his sword. I'm gonna beat him with the sword.
And I'll make him call his sword toothpick. And I'll...
So thank you everybody for joining us for season 2 of Trick Roll. It is so good fun to be live again. And we will be back in 2 weeks. So remember, during that time, if you want to aid them with trick rolls, go links below. They're going to need your help, because otherwise they have to try to figure out the answers to the problems themselves.
keep swinging sword until I find the answer.
Okay, we have a solution. We're going to cut through everything.
There's a
Until
whole new meaning to
then-
cut to the chase.
Until then, you can find everybody online. Danielle is available under Awfully Big Adventure on Twitter. Kyle is Flinty Sherlock 756.
Flint Hewitt 756 on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube.
And then there's Crumpler64 all over the internet.
Yes.
And you can see us. The show is Trick_Roll. I am personally Warped_Films. Thank you so much for joining us. We're looking forward to absolutely feeding Joseph to a shark. No, I mean to wrap
through the
to
serpent
finding a way
sea.
to save the fictional world so that they all get back to the real world.
That's
You know
how
what?
we
I
do
don't
it.
even know what's going on anymore. I'm just going to shut up. I'm going to hit the button to take us off. It's been fun. Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.